Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Morning.
When you hear your docket, wait till the chairperson does the introduction. Then you will say your name. You'll raise your right hand. You will swear you in, and then you will give your testimony. If you are not the owner, if you are a attorney or a management company, please state that when you give your name or your capacity of what you are to the property. Mr. Chairperson, we may proceed with the preamble.
Okay, in compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activities being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Mr. Jacobson.
Mr. Chairman, this is Dan Jacobson from the Law Department. Preliminary issues. Can we verify that the live stream is on and functioning?
It is.
And Mr. Chairman, as the Law Department has done since these meetings have gone virtual and or hybrid, law states its objection to the use of the chat function. Thank you.
Ms. Davis.
Mr. Bradley? You have to unmute yourself, Mr. Bradley.
You're looking for Brad Hull, me, Bradley Hull?
No.
Okay.
Chairman, Chairperson, thank you. Mr. Maschke?
Here.
Mr. Dink?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we'll proceed with the first docket, A6823, 3035 East 61st Street.
Morning.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is hazardous conditions issued on February 22nd of 2023. Appeal was received March 23rd of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Department of Building and Housing. Dan Jacobson, Department of Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Joseph McClory. I'm the owner slash sole member of Skyview Ventures LLC.
Mr. McCleary, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
He didn't raise his hand. He didn't raise his right hand, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. You say he did, right?
He did not.
Oh, he did not. Okay. Well, raise your right hand. We'll do it again. so it can be shown wherever your picture is on here. But I guess you're stating it anyways. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God. With your right hand raised. Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. Go ahead and proceed.
Okay, well, on February 10th, 2023, a portion of a wall collapsed inward. I then received a notice of violation. I applied and was approved for a sidewalk permit. A fence was installed. The property is not open, has not been open since that day. I applied for an abate violation permit. However, it is not going through because they want the total construction drawings, meaning all drawings, the plumbing permit, electrical permit, HVAC permit. And concurrently to this, there's another building permit and which is requiring a clean out of the property. And I've been making satisfactory, continuous satisfactory progress on that for over the last 2.5 years. If you asked me a year ago how much debris was in that building, I would have told you when it started about 150 to 200 tons. You ask me now, I say more like 200 to 300. And 75 to 80% of it is cleaned out. And my structural / civil engineer was there on July 19th. And he said he could do the drawings approximately December, and he wants to come back when the property is fully cleaned out. In the last 4 months, 8 40-yard dumpsters, well, 7.5 40-yard dumpsters have been filled, and the other half of that should be filled within, around the end of this week.
Okay, so you were looking at drawings by December, and this is something you've ran by with the inspector?
I told him, yeah, I verbally told him, he comes every month, he inspects the property every month. And yes, I told him that.
Okay, let me go over to Mr. Vanover.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, what is the ask?
So, Mr. McCleary, how much time are you looking at to complete whatever you're going to be doing there? I mean, what are you asking for?
More time to get the construction drawings in. 3 to 6 months.
Okay, to abate the violations or
To get the construction drawings
To
in
get
and
the
pull the
construction.
proper permits to then abate the violations. Because the violation specifically says I have to have the permit before any work can begin.
Okay, so you're talking 3 to 6 months to get all the permits and what else were you looking for?
That's really it. That's
Okay. All right, let's go back to Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, we object to 3 to 6 months to get the plans for the permits. I mean, the photographs before us tell the story. This building did not become deteriorated and distressed overnight. And the fact that it collapsed, which is a hazardous, dangerous situation, and we had to show up to tell the owner to, hey, take a look at your building. I think that's too much time. And there's no plan after that, then we don't even know what the construction schedule. This is a dangerous situation, on a city street. So we don't object to a very limited time to get the plans together and get this abated, but we would ask for no more than 90 days to, abate the nuisance. I mean, I don't know how much, it doesn't look like there's much left.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Councilman Starr just logged in. He is the councilman in this ward where this building sits.
okay. Councilman, do you wish to speak now or at the end?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that I did have been in communication with Mr. Joseph as well, and I do agree with the committee.
Wait
one
one
of the-
second, Mr. Councilman Starr, Mr. Chairman, he needs to be sworn in if he's going to give testimony.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Councilman, go ahead.
Yes.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I definitely will today.
Okay. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I've been talking to Joe since the building collapse. You know, right in the St. Hanson neighborhood, we have some really engaged residents in that community who pay attention to everything that goes on in the community. One of the things I do have concern with is the time frame of getting this resolved and getting this building up and running. I know for about the last, I would say, least around several 8 months or 6 months since the building collapsed. Mr. Joe has been filling up dumpsters as often as he possibly can. But I'm like, hey, within the time frame, what does it take to get this building up to the standards, up to code, and get it cleaned up? Because the safety is the number one priority. Or whatever the actual plans and drawing is for the building as far as the operation, and that's something that I'm still trying to get a feel for, or get some drawings to understand what the building will be utilized for moving forward. So I am with the committee on how can we move forward faster with this, as opposed to just, you know, like some residents say, a touch-up job. You know, this has to be a secure spot. The building did collapse, and if you are familiar with the neighborhood right around the corner, we had another building, the Empire Plow, that collapsed this year as well, just from, you know, Mother Nature. You know, them different storms knocking these buildings in and making it a safe area is very important to me, as well as the residents in the St. Hanson neighborhood. So I definitely will want to know what is the actual plans for the building going forward. Is it something we're going to demolish completely, or are we trying to bring it back up? And if we're trying to bring it back back to code, or renovate the building or restructure it, what are the plans for what type of operation or business is going to be inside of there? Those are some of the questions that resident has asked me as well, and I just wanted to understand what is the plans.
Well, we'll go back to Mr. McCleary, and ask him those same questions. He heard what you said, and see what his response is before I go back to Mr. Vanover.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'd first like to comment on what Mr. Vanover said. I just want to say that I called my inspector. I found out that morning, February 10th, only one wall collapsed. It's a huge building. That's a very small percentage of the building. I called my inspector. I reported it. Now, it had also been reported by somebody else, but I reported it. I just want to be very clear about that. Regarding Councilman Richard Starr's questions, what happens is that after this building is cleaned out, and again, it's been going 2 dumpsters a month. The city's been helping me, and Councilman Starr helped me with that, to where the city would provide dumpsters, which I've been paying for. And it's a sustainable rate of progress. It's over double, or it's approximately double the rate we were going before. And the building is 75 to 80% cleaned out. After it's cleaned out, an appraiser will come there, and there will be scenarios run. He will do what's called an after repair value appraisal, and it will give me an idea of what the building will be worth. Let's say if the buildings are built out in a manner of industrial flex space, or what the building will be worth if I just make it storage / warehouse space. Okay, so those would be 2 of the main scenarios, and probably 2 of the only scenarios. Only be 2 to 3 scenarios run, and then I'll make a decision as to build the buildings out for industrial flex space or storage warehouse, or if it's not viable, I could decide I'm not going to demo the building. I don't plan to demo the building. I plan to build out the building. So really, it would be one of those options.
Okay, I guess what we're looking at is when you get this assessment done, how long is it going to take before you get the guy in there to do the assessment, before you can go ahead and start and get the drawings?
I know how lenders think, and I want, the way to do it right is to have it cleaned out and, power wash the inside, and then have the appraisal there. the appraiser there. Then, because they send the pictures to the lender, you know, you don't want them looking at ugly pictures. If they see a clean space that needs renovated, I just feel that that's in the best interest of the project long term. My target, which I communicated to Councilman Starr, to apply for the funding, and if I don't get the funding outside, I do have the assets myself that I would need to convert into liquidity. But my goal to apply to that was March 5th. That is what I had communicated to him.
All right, so if we go back to Mr. Vanover, but if we give him 90 days to get this assessment done and get the drawings into you, what else is necessary?
Well, Mr. Chairman, we need a timeline for completion. It can't be open-ended. It can't, we can't have a wall standing, freestanding. I mean, the one wall collapsed, but I'm not sure what happened to the roof. So I still don't have a time frame for completion for the abatement of the nuisance.
Okay, he put out a March date. So he was looking at a December date to get the drawings in and the March date for completion. Is that McCleary, Mr. McCleary?
No, construction would begin in the spring.
Okay,
The March date was for actually, getting the appraiser there. And if I have to get the appraiser there earlier, I'm gonna have to figure out, what to do in that scenario. But yeah, construction would start in the spring.
well, that sounds like that's gonna be way too long, but, we need to,
Mr. Chairman? And the appraiser is there for funding for the project? Is that what it is?
Well, that's plan A. And, that's plan A would be to get the, rehab funds for the project, which is totally, I've done it multiple times in the past with residential properties, and, it's not an issue. They like to provide funding for these sort of things so long as it's a viable project. And my plan optimizes the viability of the project.
But it's not currently funded.
For the entire construction, I haven't even applied for that. I've been focusing on the clean out, and there's been continuous satisfactory progress with that.
So, Mr. Chairman, I understand that where the focus has been. This is a commercial property. It's as the appellant has said, this is a large property. It appears that there's a lot of maybes, and there's a lot of definites, but there's also a lot of maybes on this. That maybe it gets funded. I don't know what the economic funding banking model is going to look like in December, but I know that this building didn't get this way overnight, and as an investment property, there's a expectation that it is maintained better than this one has been. So we would ask for, we would object to this time frame, and we would object to time to get funding at some later date.
so not knowing, and there's so many unknowns here, do you think, Mr. Vanover, this might be better to remand this back to Building and Housing?
So, Mr. Chairman, as stated, this is a hazardous condition violation notice and not a condemnation. So the hazardous condition exists. It's apparent. I don't think anybody can deny. So how this gets remediated is there's multiple ways to do that. That doesn't, that needs to be done quickly. I agree that remanding it back to the department is the best, and the appellant can decide whether he's going to rebuild this section, raise this section, or white box it for future tenants. But with no clear plan on funding or timelines, we are concerned that this sitting is in the neighborhood in its current condition.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because there is a lot of unknowns here as to what's being done. And I guess as long as you're working on this, Mr. McCleary, and you're working with the inspector on this, and you keep moving forward and doing what you got to do, then you're probably not going to have a problem. But if for some reason you stall out, then it could become a problem. So I'm going to recommend to the board to remand this property back to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
But, well, can you explain what does that mean to have the property remanded back to Building and Housing?
Well, I'm going to have Mr. Vanover explain that to you.
Okay.
Well, it means that it's remanded back to us. No additional time is granted. You can continue to work your plan and get your drawings together, but it allows us as a department to continue to monitor and to move forward with any remedy need fit if the project isn't moving.
Okay, I got you. Well, I understand. Given that it is being inspected every month and that I have made continuous satisfactory progress with that, and frankly, I was unaware that you'd want to see some of the things that you've just made me aware of now. I think getting the drawings. So if it gets remanded to you, how much time do you want for the drawings? I guess let me ask you that. You still want the 90 days?
No, Mr. Chairman, the appellant, I mean, the expectation is that this gets addressed immediately. I mean, the fact that it is getting inspected every day, but the citizens of the city of Cleveland are paying for that, for your privately held commercial property. So, which is, ultimately it's just, that's not fair that the citizens are paying to observe your property because it collapsed. We would expect, that the safety hazards and the plans be in, I'm going to say immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
and realizing it's going to take you a little time to get that done, but it means that you're going to be working on it immediately. And, that's what's going to keep the city happy that you are working on it and you're working towards, a solution to this where you're either going to make a choice as to which way this is going to go and what its use is going to be. And you keep the city informed and you get your drawings in as soon as possible and start working on the project as soon as you can.
Okay,
And
all right, one more question to Mr. Vanover, if that's okay. I just lost it. Hopefully.
Okay, well, if you're working on it, that's what matters, okay? So, we got a motion by Mr. Bradley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, okay, you'll be notified within 2 weeks. Thank you.
So that's the end of it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next docket, A6923, 7756 Broadway Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is a condemnation of the main structure issued on February 21st of 2023. Appeal was received March 27th of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Department of Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Department of Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Brad Hall, attorney for the appellant.
Okay, Mr. Hall, raise your right hand, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Well, just before I do that, if I can, I have a representative here also online. I mean, I've prepared this to make it more of an oral argument fashion coming from me, but if that's not what the board prefers, I can have her swear in and testify.
Well, we're going to swear her in too in case she does testify.
Okay.
We need a name.
I'm sorry, her name is Shelley Liverpool.
Okay, so Ms. Liverpool, can she hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so the both of you raise your right hand, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God. And Mr.
Yes.
Hull, you can proceed.
Yes, thank you. I think one preliminary thing, I don't think the issue here on our appeal relates so much to abating the underlying condition. I think it relates more to the action being illegal and unconstitutional, and then an unreasonable demolition cost being imposed here. So, just to the extent that I'll start though, my client, and do you folks have exhibits pages 1 through 300 available to you? I emailed those the other day.
Well, I would say that the building department probably does. Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman, those would have been emailed to you for this case.
Are those the documents when I kept emailing you back saying however you were emailing them to me, I was unable to open them along
You
with a
said-
video?
There's two emails that I sent in. One is pages 1 through 300. I never got a response saying that people couldn't receive that. I did get a response saying you couldn't access the video.
Okay, so if it was pages 1 through 300, then it must have been caught up in our firewall and was flagged as spam and never came through to me. So I never received that, but the video I was unable to open that video.
Mr. Vanover, do you have these pages?
I do not.
Okay, so none of us have them. If you want to move forward and try to go with the fact that we don't have them in hand, fine. If you want to reschedule, then I guess we could give you that opportunity.
Yeah, I think the documents are critical. So how long out are we looking if we are rescheduling?
Mr. Chairman, to the attorney, then you must hand deliver those documents because whatever format that you are using, I highly suggest you have them hand delivered, and whatever that video is, have it on a USB drive in the format that is able to be transcribed with our software.
That's no problem. Yep, USB drive, hand deliver the documents. And I'll send a copy to Mr. Vanover as well.
Okay. Ms. Davis, can you reschedule them?
He will be
Actually-
rescheduled for 2 weeks.
Actually, no, Ms. Davis, those, so the documents that you're sending should go to the board, but then they should go to Mr. Jacobson as the attorney for the city, and Mr. Jacobson can bring them to me. And
Yeah,
Do I need to, I'm sorry,
Mr.
should I be
Chairman.
sending these to Mr. Jacobson?
Mr. Chairman, to the attorney as well to Tom Vanover, all documents that the board receive in preparation to dockets are always sent over to the Department of Building and Housing attorney to prepare for their case or litigation against said attorneys.
okay, I just want to be clear that the department itself, we don't receive documents directly.
So noted.
So I'm sorry, is that my responsibility to send them to Attorney Jacobson then?
You can send them directly to me. For the record, you can send them to me, and I will ensure that Mr. Jacobson receive copies with the correct docket number stamped on them. So you send them to Board of Building Standards and Building Appeals, room 516.
Right.
Reference docket A6923, and I will forward them to Attorney Jacobson for the Department of Building and Housing. And he will be rescheduled in 2 weeks, which will be, was that September
27th.
27th?
I'm sorry, can we bear with me for 1 second, please? I am available that day. Miss Liverpool, from your text message, are you available to come in by WebEx on September 27th? September 27th.
September 27th.
And this is going to be 9:30 in the morning again, or
So if it's 9:30 in the morning here, I think that's going to be 9:30 p.m. for me, which for us, that's fine.
okay. All right, we'll reschedule for September 27th then.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the next docket if there's no other questions.
Very
The
good.
next-
Thank you.
You're welcome. Docket 85623 3120 West 54th Street has been withdrawn. So we're going to move on to docket A 7123 3862 East 57th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on March 10th of 2023. Appeal was received March 22nd of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Department of Building and Housing. Dan Jacobson, Department of Law. Will the attorney or his or her, will the owner or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Thank you, ma'am. This is Attorney Eric Allen. I'm here on behalf of the Hayden Family Trust, Marie Hayden trustee. I have trustee Mr. Timothy Hayden as well on the line. Mr. Hayden, can you acknowledge yourself, please?
I'm here, Tim Hayden.
Okay, sounds good. So that would be the two of you giving testimony possibly. So Mr. Allen, Mr. Hagan, if you could raise your right hand, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
We do, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, whoever's going to be speaking, and tell us what your plans are.
Can we advance the PowerPoint, please? To this docket.
We're outside. 71.
Oh, there we go. Are you looking for me to start now, sir?
Okay, we got it. Go ahead and begin.
Thank you. At the end of the day, what we're looking for is about a 60-day extension to have this completed. It should be done, frankly speaking, by Thanksgiving. The issue here has been twofold. One, the company that was handling all of the stuff for the owner, including property management, property maintenance, and everything, originally went into a bankruptcy status and stalled everything out. And two, there's a couple tenants there that have been non-compliant in terms of letting people in and things of that nature. It's the expectation that those tenants will be vacating shortly, and the property management issue has been resolved. The fixes here are not, the plan is basically already in place to get them remedied. It's just a matter of getting it all taken care of. And we would ask for the board to just give us a chance to get this resolved and give us the 60 days to take care of it.
Okay, let me go over to Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, there are a couple violation notices on this property. One of which is an illegal use for a conversion from a single family to a two family structure. So we would expect that any remediation include the compliance with, permits to legally change the use. I'm not sure if that's the violation notice that's before the board today.
No, that's it.
I don't believe we've received that one yet.
They were all issued, so it was issued, 3120 West 54th Street, correct?
That is,
This one's 3862 East 57th Street.
Oh, that's, okay. I apologize. Bear with me then.
Thank you. My heart skipped a beat there for a minute.
Yeah, I kind of,
Yeah.
All right, can we go to the slide that shows the address? Because the one that I saw was 3120 West 54th. 3862, okay.
Yes.
Please hold.
yeah, that was a near heart attack for me too.
Yeah, but this was just interior and exterior maintenance.
Mr. Chairman of the appellate, when will the occupants vacate the property?
If I may, there's an agreement in place between the owner. The owner actually has come in town and addressed that with the occupants. They're supposed to vacate within the next 20 to 30 days. The issue is the court will not allow us to proceed on an eviction because they've deposited the funds in escrow. So we're kind of in that gray area where we don't have the ability to actually forcibly enter. And at the same time, they're not allowing us to enter. When the police have been contacted, they've referred us to it as a civil matter. So Mr. Hayden has worked out and hopefully come to an amicable resolution on that.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 60 days.
Okay.
With the understanding that the tenants will be exiting the premises and it will remain vacant until the repairs are made.
Okay. Motion is in order to give 60 days to abate all the violations with the understanding that the property will not be let until all of the violations have been abated. That would be November 13th, 2023 to abate all violations. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Members of the board, thank you. Mr. Vanover, thank you as well. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket is A 7323 1741 Wayside Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance and no permit. Issued on March 14th of 2023. Appeal statement was received April 6th of 2023, requesting for 60 days to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Department of Building and Housing. Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Good morning. My name is Al Perez. I'm the owner of 3805 Muriel LLC.
Okay, Mr. Perez, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Okay, we did the electrical part of the violation list. We passed the inspection last week. We did the HVAC portion of the violation list as well. And we did the plumbing, but I need to confirm with my plumber. I contacted a certified plumber to pull the permit. But unfortunately, I don't have the confirmation that he's done that. So I need to confirm that. But he sent me pictures of what the work he's done at the property. They look much better. And so once again, I just need to confirm that he pulled the permit. And we did exterior work already. That was done in my last visit to Cleveland, which was in I think it was March, April this year. So we did the exterior part. We did the patching of the roof, of a small portion of the roof on the northeast side of the roof. We did that as well. And the only thing, and that's the reason I'm asking a little bit of time, is we need to correct the joint on the property, which is basically we need to jack up the support beam.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I called. I based on my experience, that should be a no more than $3,000 job. But I'm getting very high prices, around $12,000. So I just need a little bit of time to find the correct contractor to do the job. Not even 60 days, to be honest. But in order to protect myself, I'm just asking for 60 more days to complete this job.
Okay, that'll complete all the violations.
Yes,
All right. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, there is no plumbing permit pulled on this property.
Okay.
And there's no building permit pulled. The work required that, as explained, will also require a building permit. And so make your plumber aware that one of the violation notices on this property is a no permit, as well as interior, exterior alterations. So make sure your plumber is aware that, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, that he cannot do any work without his permit, and that he must get his permit, or else this will never get closed. And we don't object to more time, but a building permit will be required as well. And but no more than 60 days, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so motion is in order to grant 60 days, which would be November 13th, 2023, to abate all violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next docket is A 7423, 3431 West 98th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and exterior maintenance. Issued March 20th of 2023. Appeal was received April 4th of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Department of Building and Housing. Dan Jacobson, Department of Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Good morning. My name is Marcela Chicas. I'm the property manager of 3431 West 98th Street.
Hold on just a moment. I'll swear you in, okay? Okay, Ms. Jekis, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Okay, we have addressed half of these violations. Mostly the interiors violations for the unit downstairs. However, for the unit upstairs, we have been issues with the tenant that was in place. We went through an eviction process, and the tenant finally moved out of the property 2 weeks ago. No, I'm sorry, a week ago. So we're currently working on having the porch address, as well as the interior violations for that property as well.
Okay, we're showing no permit.
For the electrical, we're still working on that because the work that was done, it was before we started to manage the property. So we've been trying to contact a contractor that is willing to take on the responsibility of pulling the permit for the electrical issues.
Okay, how much time do you think you need?
Between a month and 2 months.
Okay. All right, we'll go over to Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, you are the new management company, but is it the same owner?
Yes, it's the same owner.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, the owner knows who did the wiring, who did the electrical work. And there is not currently an electrical permit. We don't object to more time with the understanding that the property is vacant and will remain vacant
Yes,
until the violations are abated.
yes.
Okay. So we'll grant you 60 days to.
Mr. Chairman, this is Dan from Law. Mr. Chairman, to Carmela Davis, did this appellant, it's on the screen, as Future or Bright Future Homes, send any kind of communication to you?
Mr. Chairman, to Dan Jacobson, we do not have any management agreement from Jesse One LLC giving this management company authority to speak on their behalf today.
Okay, is there a way that I can send that management agreement to you?
Yes, you can, to Ms. Davis.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and grant this, but that's conditional that you do get that into her as soon as possible.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Will do.
so, November 13th, 60 days, 2023 to abate all the violations and to, get your permit, make sure the permits are in, and to notify Ms. Davis.
Perfect, thank you very much, I really appreciate it.
Okay, motion?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, have a good day.
You too. Okay, the next docket, A 7523 3426 East 121st Street has been withdrawn. So we'll move to the next docket. It's a time extension, docket A 7023 1378 West 114th Street.
Application and fees are in order. This is a time extension from when we first heard this appellant on September 28th of 2022. At that time, the board granted the appellant until January 28th of 2023 to obtain permits, and until March 28th of 2023 to complete and abate all violations. Present for today's hearing is Tom Vanover, Department of Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
My name is Edward Redden. I'm the brother of Angela Gomez, who's sitting next to me. She owns the property.
Okay, I'm gonna swear both of you in, okay?
Okay.
Raise your right hand and both of you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. All right, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
The question is, there was some violations in the house that we were allowed to fix. Those have been taken care of. The one that we are not allowed to touch is there's a set of stairs that go from the second floor to the attic. We're trying to get them removed. I submitted the paperwork to downtown. I was informed that the plans were not detailed enough, so we hired an architect who drew up some plans. We submitted them. We waited. I finally got some paperwork, and in the paperwork, I think the inspector felt that we were trying to put stairs back in, and we're just simply trying to remove them because they're violation, and the access to the attic will just simply be the original crawl space that was in the house when it was designed. After that was made clear to him, he said, I will send you back your paperwork to let you know what your next steps are. And I'm still anticipating the paperwork coming. I haven't received it as of yet.
Okay, is everything else taken care of in the violation?
Yes, I took care of everything else. It was on the list that I was allowed to do. The only thing is the removal of the stairs.
Okay.
And I'm
let
just
me-
waiting for the permit to say, yes, I can demo it out and close up that area.
Okay, let me go over to Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, it appears that the adjudication order was issued and sent out to, let's see, when was this sent out? Looks like it was back in June. And you're saying that you communicated with Mr. Wells regarding this?
Yes, several occasions I've talked to him on the phone. I think he was under the understanding that when the stairs were removed, that we were going to put a legal setback in. And we're simply just getting rid of the stairs completely. And that's what the architectural plans that I submitted to him show clearly what is there now and what was going to be there upon completion, which is just an empty room. There's not going to be anything in that room. And he said that he would send out the necessary paperwork that I needed to move forward, but not to touch the drywall or remove anything yet until I receive that. And
How is so there will be access to the attic, it just won't be through the stairs?
right, originally when the house designed, there's a small hallway leading to the bathroom. There's a square approximately maybe 2 feet by 3 feet. It's a panel that just simply pushes up into the attic, and that'll just be the access needed in case there's any issues in the attic. The stairs were simply put in about 40 years ago by my father just to have more storage space. But at this point, it's not worth the time or effort to try to put a legal set of steps in. We're just going to remove them and just do away with it.
Mr. Chairman, we don't object to more time while we get this permit issue sorted out.
Okay, how much more time do you think it's gonna take?
I guess that all depends on Mr. Wells. I think I might have to go down there in person and try to speed the process up, but 90 days.
I'll follow up with Mr. Wells after this. Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 60 days to fix
Okay.
this.
Sounds good. All right, motion is in order for November 13th, 60 days, 2023 to abate the violations.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll get notification within 2 weeks.
All right, thank you.
All right, I believe that is all of our cases. Is there anything else to come before us?
No.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned.
Wait, approval of resolution?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm moving on too quick here. I'm looking at Mr. Maschke. Wanting to call him Mr. Vanover. All right, we'll do the approval of resolutions, 859-23, 860-23, 861-23, 62-23, 63-23, 64-23, 65-23. Motion?
Motion for approval.
Okay, motion by Mr. Maschke, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, approval of minutes for August 30th, 2023. Are there any additions and corrections?
No.
Motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Anything else to come before us?
No.
Okay, we're now adjourned.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good 2 weeks.
Good day.
2 weeks.